Hey, what's up guys, I'm back with another video, well another how-to video, and I gotta say, this is the hardest boss that I've ever fought in Borderlands to date. I don't know if I'm just trash or what it is, but it is very difficult. Now first off, make sure you hit that sub button. A lot of you watch my videos aren't subscribed. Now to the video. Okay, first off, when you first slide down the chute and you start fighting him, he's a relatively small boss and he moves it like he likes to run. Now, when you see him turn his back and run, he's trying to find a host. And I have the abundant projectile recursion. I would rather you have a shotgun like this or one of those electricity shotguns that likes to chain, because the longer you keep him from connecting to a host, the more damage you do to him. And well, first for starters, I would recommend you do this with a friend or a friend or two, but not usually for a solo. But I'm going to show you how to do it solo. But after a while, he is going to connect to a host, which is naturally, you can't keep the game from doing it too long. Now, the one I'm shooting at now, that is the one you have to aim at and put all your damage into, because he's the one he's connected to. And the more damage you do to him, the more damage you do to the Empower Scholar, and before you know it, he's gonna go into a phase to where he has to move. Okay, now when you finally knock down that last bar of life, you're gonna see he goes into this immune stage. And what you want to do is you want to get to the little 4 squares, and they're gonna have little robots that pop up. And what you want to do is you want to shoot them because they're healing them. The faster you knock them out, the faster you can go back to fighting. Just take your time, or just make sure you hit your shots and get through all of them. Because the more life you give him now, the harder it will be to fight him later. And then you back to the regular stage. You're trying to keep him from connected to a host. Like, he's gonna fight you straight up. He's gonna throw an attack, then he's gonna turn around and run. And when he run, you run behind him. Now, with my kind of build, I'm going to show you my build at the end. With the projectile percussion or the cash infused shotgun with electricity, it is very helpful. I recommend those 2 guns. And try to get that crit damage, because when you're fighting a host, it does a big, decrease in damage for him. And try not to use your launcher too much, because you might want to save it for later. I highly advise that. Alright, so for this next immune stage, what you want to do is you want to go to the top right part of the map from which you walked into. And I like to jump on the first rock. Look straight down so you don't fall off and die like 2 or 3 times like I did. Then you want to shoot the same robots you shot at first. They keep it from healing. Try to get them all in one go, so that's less, that's less health you have to deal with. And try to hit your shots. Don't be garbage like me right here. Make sure you hit them. And then, as soon as you do that, the rock is gonna fall. And the thing is, you have to jump off within the next 3 or 4 seconds, or the rock beneath you will collapse. That's how I died another time. You should be alright. Just jump back on the rock, and now you back to stage 1 again. You're gonna keep it from connected to a host. Now he had a different shield type, the blue one. Now at this point, I wasn't really using the electricity shotgun, the cash infused brainstormer, which I should have, but it is very helpful against that blue shield. So I highly advise electricity based shotgun. Well, you can see right here that I switched to it. Alright, for the next immune stage, well, coming up, the third immune stage would have been, what you want to do is you want to go to this time the left top corner from which you walk in, and same process occurs. Look straight down on the rock, but the thing is, it's not different, but the rocks this time seem to float a little lower, so you might have to look up. But don't forget, do not move, just aim, because you will die. If you got to go around twice, it's fine, just don't fall off. I don't exactly know the timetable on this, because I usually try to get it around in 1 or 2 goes. But just don't move, because the rock is not that big. And once you approach the last one, the rock that falls this time is a little bit more narrow. I don't know if the game is meant to be that way, but it is. And it's easier to fall off of it. So just make sure you run, jump, then you'll be fine. And then of course you back to the same stage. Now, this is a yellow shield, so usually I would use maybe a corrosive weapon. But for whatever reason, it wasn't doing that much of a crit damage. So I switched back to the cash infused brainstormer, and it started melting. And by the way, this is the last go around. Now as you work through the remaining blue and yellow shield, you're going to get down to the regular health. I switch back to my recursion, where it does fire damage against the flesh. And as you can see, it melts it. And that was pretty much it. At that point, it doesn't matter if you hit the host or you hit the actual Empower Scholar. You're trying to knock that last bit remaining life left. Oh, last tip. Try to keep a lot of the enemies around you alive, so that, you can use it for second win in case you get knocked. And as far as rewards, of course, for after all that work, you don't get rewarded. So shout out to you if you watch this video. Leave a like, comment, or sub if anything helps you. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace out. Nobody.
Feel uninvited.